forever screen. So my apologies for that. So let's dive now to this. This is the website. I type, you go to the browser and type w3schools.com, and you are going to look for the last year. Click here at the last part. You can see the data science. So we're gonna click this, and we're going to learn data science. There's a data science tutorial here in W3 Schools. So as W3 Schools had been a very good source of information in learning different technologies. And yeah, that's it. And let's read the introduction here. We're in today data rules the world, and yeah, that's correct, guys, because information plays a significant role in decision making, and with the data that we have right now, we can make decisions, we can make predictions, and with that, our lives would be better if we could control, manage, or we could make decisions out of the data that we collected. So this has resulted in a huge demand for data scientists. So these are the people who really study about data, and they're called data scientists. So for those, by the way, taking BSCS, a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, or a computer scientist, no? Um, Here, when you're going to study data science is part of the subject in BSCS. And there's also a course in the future about data science. I think it's in a planning phase for application for um, preparing that CHED, the Commission of Higher Education, if that particular course will be open here in the Philippines. So let's learn. A data scientist, this is a person helps companies with data-driven decisions to make their business better. So it's very important to have the person that do the data science thing is called a data scientist. So we're gonna click this one, guys. Start learning data science now. And we are now forwarded to this information about the introduction of data science. Data science is a combination of multiple disciplines that uses statistics, data analysis, and machine learning to analyze data and to extract knowledge and insights from it. So when we say combination, so it's not just a single discipline, no? When we say discipline, this could be art, science, mathematics, philosophy, whatever, no? And it uses statistics. So when we say statistics, that's if in our lay terms, that would be we are common with vital statistics, no? The numbers we have on our body figure, and also we are also popular. No, we know already also about the what you call this one, the census, no? The number of population, number of male and female, and there's also the called data analysis, wherein we are going to analyze the data, and also this thing, machine learning. So what is data science? So data science about data gathering. So first we gather data, analysis, and decision making. Data science is about finding patterns in data through analysis and make future predictions. So this is very exciting, guys, because you can make some predictions out of the data that you collected. So when you do some predictions, if it's correct, you might have very important results, no? Results if you can predict the data right. Okay, by using data science, companies are able to make, first is make better decisions. Should we choose A or B? Then also predictive analysis, what will happen next? And pattern discoveries. With data science, you could find pattern or maybe hidden information in the data. So where is data science needed? Data science is used in many industries in the world today, like, for example, banking, consultancy, healthcare, and manufacturing. Examples of where data science is needed. So we have here for route planning to discover the best routes to ship. No, I remember in what you call this one, when I went to Cebu, I was able to use that app. That app is uh, the Grab, no? Thanks to Mom Joanne for helping me, in making my first Grab when I took travel from, I guess that's from where we are in, where is that place? Somewhere there near the Riway, near the Riway, going to SM Cebu. So I use Grab, and with that there's a route, no, which particular uh, there are some available options to choose which particular car you're going to choose. There are car that are it can pick up another person, and there's also a car that you are the only one. That's it, guys. And there are also options where you're going to pay from your GCash, or you're going to pay it when you arrive there. Okay, another is to foresee delays for flight, ship, train, etc. So through predictive analysis, no, and to create promotional offers, to find the best suited time to deliver goods, to forecast the next year's revenue for a company, to analyze health benefit of training, to predict who will win elections. These are very important to all politicians, no. The prediction of who will win the elections, and also for other business, they might be interested or to whom they will support, no, because there's already a prediction of who will win in the election. Another, data science can be applied in nearly every part of a business where data is available. Example are consumer goods, stock markets. So when we say consumer goods, these are the foods that the food, or the food, the salt, the vinegar, the toyo, the spaghetti, the water. Yeah, that's it. All the one that we consume, no? Then stock markets. When we say stock markets, these are the companies that open their business in the stock market. Wherein all of us can invest money there. We put our money there, and we could earn something dividend from the money that we invest in. So example of this may be Jollibee, and other known. I'm not. I supposed to join on this particular one, but I feel that's called financial. I was not able to pursue participating in the stock market. Next one is industry. When we talk about industry, this could be it could mean many things. This could be shipping. This could be including in education industry, in making let's say in farm industry, and the like. Then politics, already this one, no? And logistic companies and e-commerce. This is electronic commerce, no? Online shopping like Shopee, etc. Okay, how does a data scientist work? A data scientist requires expertise in several backgrounds. So there are five here. They are from expert in machine learning, statistics, programming. So for programming, Python or R. So we are going to explore these two programming, no, the R and the Python. And another one is mathematics and databases. So data scientists must find patterns within the data. Before he or she can find the patterns, he or she must organize the data in a standard format. So here is how a data scientist works. So first, ask the right questions to understand the business problem. This is very important that you know how to ask the right questions. If you don't know how to ask the right questions, then that would be a problem because you could not understand the business problem. Number two, explore and collect data. So from database, you can collect data in various ways like from database, web logs, customer feedback, etc. And after that, you're going to extract the data, transform the data to a standardized format. After that, you're going to clean the data because there are some entries there that are not complete. There's some entries that are wrong, so or very high number. So you are going to remove erroneous values from the data. Then number five, find and replace missing values. So check for missing values and replace them with a suitable value. For example, an average value. For example, on that particular information, there is no data, no? So what you're going to do is you're going to replace with an average value. So to compute for the average value, that would be you're going to add the total of all the entries, and then you're going to divide all the number of entries, all the values in the entries, the sum of the entries, and divide the total number of entries. The number 6, normalize data. So scale the values in a practical range. Example, 140 centimeter is smaller than 1,8 meters. However, the number 140 is larger than 1,8. So scaling is important. Number 7, analyze data, find patterns and make future predictions. And number 8, represent the result. Present the result with useful insights in a way the company can understand. So all of these works, how data scientist works will be, you're going to experience this one in our subject. You're going to understand the problem. You're going to collect data. You're going to extract data. You're going to clean the data. You're going to find and replace missing values, normalize the data, analyze the data, find patterns, and make future predictions, and represent the result. Okay, where to start? So in this tutorial, we'll start by presenting what data is and how data can be analyzed. You will learn how to use statistics and mathematical functions to make predictions. Okay, you just click next. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. So here, what is data? So data is a collection of information. One purpose of data science is to structure data, making it interpretable and easy to work with. Data can be categorized into two groups, structured and unstructured data. So it's very easy to memorize, guys. Structure, and you just add UN in the beginning, and that's the second category of data. So we start studying the unstructured data. So this, as you can see in the image, you have there the unstructured data. So you have plenty of information here. You can see this in the different colors, as dark green, light green, and black. No, so this is not organized. So we need to organize this one. At the right hand, we have the health status, a number. Now, so you have the date, the average polls, max polls, steps. So it's not structured, and it's difficult to deal with, no, the unstructured data. So structured data is organized and easier to work with. So how to structure data? So as you can see in this picture, they have the same colors, no, so that is a structured data. So how to structure data? You can use an array or a database table to structure or present data. So this is an example of an array in Python. Okay, so this one, array equals 80, the data set here is 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 150, 120, 125. So print array. So it will now print all the elements in the array. So you have the index 0, index 1, 2, 3, and so on. So let's try it yourself. So it will open a new browser. Okay, so shout out to all my students. So as you can see here, this is the numbers that we have: 80, 85, 90, 95. So let's try to delete 1, 2, 5, and let's try to run, and it will display the numbers as you can see here on the right. No, so that's how we are going to structure the data. So we have to take note that it is common to work with very large data sets in data science. So in this tutorial, we'll try to make it as easy as possible to understand the concepts of data science. We will therefore work with small data set that is easy to interpret. Okay, so I'll click next. Okay, next we have database table. So a database table is table with structured data. So the following table shows a database table with health data extracted from a sports watch. So as you can see here, we have here the duration, the average pulse, the max pulse, calorie, born age, hours work, and hours sleep. So this data set contains information of a typical training session such as duration, average pulse, calorie, burnage, etc. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the numbers, no? There are numbers below the columns, no? Okay, so this one, as you can see, we have, as you can see, there are uh, columns here, column 1 to column 6, and we have row 1 to row 10. So a row is a horizontal representation of data, this one. And a column is a vertical representation of data. So, okay, so row and column. Okay, variables. Okay, a variable is defined as something that can be measured or counted. So in the programming now, we also encounter this variable. It's called variable because it accepts different values, no? So examples can be characters, numbers, or time. So in the example under, we can observe that each column represents a variable. So we have duration, average pulse, max pulse, calorie burnage, hours work, and hours sleep. So there are 6 columns, meaning that there are 6 variables. There are 11 rows, meaning that each variable has 10 observations. But if there are 11 rows, how come there are only 10 observations? It is because the first row is labeled, meaning that the name of the variable, as you can see here, guys, the duration, average pulse, these are not part of the observations. Those are the name of our variables. By the way, in other data, no, we can see we could see the first column over here, and it is called the element, no? It's called the element, and that element has different variables, the next rows. Okay, so click next. Okay, so data science and Python. So Python is a programming language widely used by data scientists. Python has built-in mathematical libraries and functions, making it easier to calculate mathematical problems and to perform data analysis. So we'll provide practical examples using Python. So the Python libraries. Okay, what are Python libraries? Python has libraries with large collections of mathematical functions and analytical tools. So in this course, we will use the following libraries: so Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, SciPy. So Pandas, this library is used for structured data operations like import CSV files, comma separated values, that's a CSV, create data frames and data preparation. For NumPy, this is a mathematical library, has a powerful n-dimensional array object, linear algebra, Fourier transform, etc. Then Matplotlib, this library is used for visualization of data. And SciPy, this library has linear algebra modules. So we will use these libraries throughout the course to create examples. Okay, Python data frame. So create a data frame with pandas. So a data frame is structured representation of data. So let's define a data frame with 3 columns and 5 rows with fictional numbers. So import pandas. This is necessary. You have import pandas as PD. Let's try to try it yourself. Okay, so as you can see on the right, this is our Python code. We use the library pandas, so we use the import syntax, import pandas as PD, and d equals, we now create our what you call this one, our data frame. So we have col1 in single quote, colon, then the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Then comma, then single quote, col2, close quote, colon 45695, and col3, same as when D, no? And then this is the code now to create. Now we create a variable df, data frame, which stands for data frame, equals pd. This is now the name of our pandas, no? PD dot data frame, data equals d. Okay, so this would be our print df. Okay, so that's the output, no? That's the output. Let's try to experiment. Like for example, we are going to have the value for call one. Like let's say, how about income? Let's try to change now income. This is expenses. Then we have savings. Then we will have the income of our first person is 10,000. Then the second income is 2,000. Then the third income is 3,000. The next one is 4,000. And the other one is 7,000. We just add 00. And for the expenses, we have 4,000. What's that? 400. Then this is 500. This is 600. Then 900. Then this is 500. Oh, this is just our examples, guys. And for savings, so we're going to deduct 10,000 by 400. So the savings is 9,600. 9,600. So 9,600 plus 400 equals 10,000. Then the other one is 2,000 minus 500. So this is 1,500. And the other one is 3,000 with the expenses of 600. So that is 2,400. 2,400. And the next one is 4,000 minus 900. So that's 3,100. And the last one is 7,000 minus 500 is 6,500. Then, yeah, let's try to run this one. If it's okay. So we have there the information. So for our index 0, we have there the income of 10,000 with an expenses of 400, and the savings is 9,600. That is if you deduct income by expenses, no, and that would be your savings. I hope so, no? I hope so. This is just an illustration, no? Okay, so let's try to have the explanation on that. So the first is we have the import the pandas library as PD. So this is that one, guys. This one, import pandas as PD. So we import, no, pandas in our program. Then after that, define data with column and rows in variables named D. So this one, D equals, this is our data frame now, D. And then after that, create a data frame using the function of pd.data frame. This one, guys. And then after that is print the data frame output with the print function. So this one, print df. Okay, so okay. So this is the interpreting the output. So we see that column 1, 2, and 3 are names of the columns. Do not be confused about the vertical numbers ranging 0 to 4. They tell us the information about the position of the rows. By the way, the first row is 0 and the second row is 1 and so on. For Lobat, guys. I hope you learned something in this tutorial about data science. Okay. So now we can use Python to count the columns and rows. We can use df.shape1 to find the number of columns. So this is the code, no? Count column equals df.shape1, print count column. So let's try that. This is the good thing with this W3Schools because you can try your output within the browser. It's still loading, guys. And that is really part of our learning if the internet is slow. Okay, so that's the code. Let's try to see if it's working. It's not working. Maybe it's because of the signal. Okay, so as you can see here, it's just the same. We add here another. We add here another code. This one is just to display the text. That's the number of columns right here. And this one, count column. So the code here, the variable, we use the variable count column to get the values of the number of columns. So yes, that's, you have just df that shape 1. Okay, so it would count the number of columns. How about if we will change this to 0? Let's try. Let's try. Let's try, guys. What would happen if we put that to 0? Is it? Yeah, that's the number of observation. The number of observation, that's the number of rows, no, excluding the label, the call 1, call 2, and the call 3. So if you put 1 here, that is now the number of columns that you have. So let's try to experiment. Let's try to add here another data. What's that? Okay, here we're going to copy this. We're going to copy. Copying is good, guys. Because you really need to copy, no? You must know how to copy. Control Z. So what's that? Is that correct? Okay. So let's try to run this code. Run. And hopefully it will display 4. Still loading. Loading and loading. There's an error. Is that an error or it's just... Oh, there's an error. There's an error, guys, because we were able to add 2 comma here. So that's why there's a syntax error. So let's try to run again. We remove the comma. By the way, do not worry if you have some syntax errors when you're going to learn something. Oh, what happened? Why the number of columns still 3? Let's try to add this as 4. What's happened? What's happened, guys? Okay, maybe because of the enter. So let's try to delete. Okay, maybe something like that. Okay, let's try to run. Hopefully it will be 4 because we add additional column. Yeah, it's already 4. So that's it, guys. And for the row, yeah, for the row here, that's 0. So we already experiment that. We add 0 for the. You have to remember, no, 1 for the columns and for the rows is 0. So there are only 2 values for the count row. The value is 0, and for the count column is 1. You have to remember that, no? And why can't we not just count the rows and columns ourselves? Oh, this is a very interesting question, no? So if we work with larger data sets with many columns and rows, it will be confusing to count it by yourself. So you risk to count it wrongly. If you use the built-in functions in Python correctly, we assure that the count is correct. That's the reason why you should not count it individually. For example, you can count it, but if for bigger data or larger data sets, it would be very difficult for you. Okay, let's try next. We have the ds function. Okay, so this chapter shows 3 commonly used functions in working with data sets. That's the max, the mean, and the mean. How max, mean. Ate, how do you pronounce that? Max, mean. Okay, anyway, those are all mean. Maximum, minimum, and the mean. Oh, that would be the solution. Okay, so max or maximum, that is the highest of the data. The mean is the minimum, the smallest. and the mean is the average of the data set. So we have here data set of the sports watch, and we have here the duration. By the way, what are these called? The duration, average pulse, max pulse, calorie burn age, hours work, hours of sleep. Yeah, you're right. This is called variables. No, these are called variables. And if there's one element here, something like here, that would be our element. And this one, these rows, is 30, 80, 120 to 40, 10, and 7. These are called observations. No, these are called observations. Okay, the data set above consists of 6 variables. Yeah, so let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and each with 10 observations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have here some definitions for the duration. How long lasted the training session in minutes? So these are minutes, guys, 30 minutes. And so average pulse, what was the average pulse of the training session? This is measured by beats per minute. Then max pulse, what was the max pulse of the training session? Then calorie burn age, how much calories were burned on training session. So this is very important, the burn age of the calorie, no? And hours work, how many hours did we work at your job before the training session? And our sleep, how much did we sleep the night before the training session? So yeah, you have there the 7, 8. Wow, very good. They're very, they have very good sleep, no? 7 and 8 hours. Wow, there are also some here work. There's also one person here where there's no work. Two. There are two persons who have no work, no? So in this case, it might be very easy for you to, yeah, it's difficult to get the maximum here. You need to compare. You need to look for the numbers like, you have 75 here. That is 125. And here is, yeah, at the last part, 150. And for here, the minimum, 0. Yeah. So you have that. And if you will not use, if you will not use, um, if you will not use a calculator, if you use a calculator for the computation, that would be, yeah, it would be easy. But if you use the function, the max, mean, and the mean, that would be the correct pronunciation there. The mean, mean, mean. Okay, by the way, there is an information here. We use underscore to separate strings because Python cannot read space as a separator. So this is how the underscore is used. Average underscore polls, max underscore polls, calorie underscore born age. So in order to become a valid identifier, no, or variable. Okay, the max function. So this is the max function. You have this one, this code, average pulse max. This is a variable created by you as a programmer, of course, or a data scientist. And you use this one, max. And this is the data. And you can get the average max. Let's try. Okay, so as you can see here, the average for this one is 125. So it displays because of this one. So let's try the experiment. Of this. The average pulse max is, let's try. So this is, I'm going to, okay, let's try to run this one again. Let's try to run if this is correct. Yeah, it's correct. And what's wrong? There's no period. It's a sentence, and we need to add period. So what you'll do is just put comma over here and the period. So let's try to run if the period is okay. Okay, the average pulse max is 125. Yeah, but there's a problem in the spacing over here, no? Okay, I don't know how is that, but that's how it works now. Okay, let's continue. So this is also the mean function. This is just similar to to the other one, but what you're going to do is you're going to create another variables, which is average underscore pulse underscore mean, and you print the average pulse mean, and you get all the data here, and you this is the the function mean, and it will compute for the minimum the for this particular number. So that's 80. If you're going to look at here, that's 80. So let's try to change this to 20 and click run, and hopefully the answer would be 20 here. That's interesting. That's 20. And then if you want a text, you can do the thing that we do last time, right? And let's proceed now to the mean. So this is the mean function. Okay. Yeah, we import numpy as np in order to compute for the mean. And then we have the scalar bornage, our array. And what we do is we are going to use this particular code, np.mean. As you can see there, the max and the mean, we don't need to import anything. It is part of the Python core. And for this, for computing for the mean, what we do is we are going to add this particular code, and it will automatically add all of these numbers and divide it by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, divided by 10. So okay, if you want, we could check this. If this is correct, we can use a calculator. If you want, let's try to add this with calculator. 240 plus 250 plus 260 plus 270 plus 280 plus 290 plus 300 plus 310 plus 320 plus 330, which is the last number. That would be equal to 2,850. We're going to divide it by 10 because there are 10 numbers. And that's 285. That is similar to this one. So that is how we use the mean to compute for the mean. So note, we write np dot in front of mean to let Python know that we want to activate the mean function of the numpy library. So we're using numpy library. Okay, next topic is called data preparation. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoy, guys, our lecture on data science with the help of this free website, the W3Schools.com. Yeah, it's still loading. Okay, so we have data preparation. Okay, so the answer here: before analyzing data, a data scientist must extract the data and make it clean and valuable. So extract and read data with pandas. So before the data can be analyzed, it must be imported or extracted. So in the example below, we show you how to import data using pandas in Python. So we use the read CSV function to import a CSV file with the health data. By the way, guys, CSV is comma separated value. You can create this one using Notepad, or you can create this one using your Excel. So by the way, let's try this one. Okay, so we have here import pandas as PD. Health data equals pd.read CSV. Okay, data.csv, comma, header equals 0, separated by comma. So this one, this data.csv is this one. So we have duration, Average poles, there's a comma because of the separator. Sep equals comma. So CSV is comma separated value. So because of that, it's named CSV because of the comma. So yeah, that's true. So we have duration, average value, poles, max. Instead of having a column next, like in Excel, what you'll do, you can use Notepad and yeah, put that value here. So as you can see here, for our first observation, we have how many variables do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 variables. And we have, for our first observation, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there is, am I correct? Duration, average poles, max poles, calorie burnage, hours 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's only 6 guys. By the way, there's only 6. And this data 30, 80, 1 to 120 to 40, 10, 7. This is complete, no? 2, 4, 6 complete, 2, 4, 6 complete, 2, 4, 6 complete, 2, 4, 6. That's complete. And this is just comma, so no entry. And this one is 246, 246, correct? This one has no value here and no value here. So missing 2 values. And there is complete data. This is complete data. This one is forget to add. Yeah, what's this? Forget, there's a space, there's an error, no? Is that really an error? Yeah, because it's not possible to have 9,000 values here. So maybe this is a typo. And here there's no data. And of course, the last one has. Okay. So when we click run here, this would be the output. The one that you see before, of course. That's the output. And you can see here, you have the none, 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 none. These are the missing values, no? These are the missing values in our information. And here, as you can see, there's an AF, meaning this is an error. Supposedly, the value here is a number, but the data that is inputted is AF. That's wrong. So how is that? So we have the header with using the pandas PD. We were able to print, no? We were able to print the health data using our data.csv. So maybe you are going to gather information from a survey or from a paper, and then you're going to type that data on a notepad and save that as data.csv. Any name, the important thing is that you save that as .csv. You can also do that using Microsoft Excel. Yeah, Microsoft Excel, and you're going to save that as .csv. So I'm going to show you how is that. So let's. This is my day 2. I'm going to save this as this one is .csv. So you can look here, CSV, no? CSV, comma delimited, that one. Then I'm gonna save it in this tab. Then save touch typing training .csv. Okay, you selected the file type that support work with selecting multiple sheets. To save only the active sheet, click OK. You're gonna click OK. Touch typing, the CSV will contain features that are compatible with CSV. Do you want to keep the workbook in this format? To keep the format which leaves out, click yes. To preserve the features, click no. To preserve, no. Click, so I'm gonna click yes. Oh, maybe this one, no? Maybe this one, because of the data, no? Of the Cuba thing. So yes. Okay, so That's already a CSV files, guys. So if I want to let you see on my desktop, what is it? Where is that? um, where is that? The CSV files. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Why I could not click the CSV? What's the file name, by the way? The file name is touch typing. So that's letter T. Touch typing. So as you can see here, guys, we have two files for touch typing. This one is an Excel file. As you can see in the type. So I'm gonna expand this one. Okay, gonna expand the type. As you can see, guys, this is already a touch typing training, a CSV file. So if we're going to right click this one and click the properties of this particular file, it's already a .csv. Okay, so that's it, guys. So let's proceed to our tutorial before we'll end. Let's go back there. Okay, so we're able to extract that data. So this is the explanation for that. Import the pandas library. So we know that that's the first code. Import pandas as PD. Name the data frame as health data. So this one is our variable health data, in which it will read the values. And after that, header 0 means that the headers for the variable names are to be found in the first row. Note that 0 means the first row in the Python. Sep means that the comma is used for the separator between the values. This is because we're using the file type .csv, which is comma separated values. Tip: if you have a large CSV files, you can use the head function to only show the top 5 rows. Okay? The head function. Use the head function. Okay. So, for example, this one. Health data head function. So let's try that code so that we could see what would be the result. So okay, because of that, as you can see before, where was our first output? Let's try to check that. Okay. As you can see, there are a lot of entries here. There are how many values here? There are 13. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. That's 0 to 12. That's 13. So when we use this other one, that head function, it will show only the top 5, the first 5 on the list. Okay, so that's it. You use the head function. So, okay, remember that. Use the head function. Okay, so what else? And the sep, it means separator. You use comma because CSV stands for comma separated values. So after you have that, you are going to have some data cleaning. Look at the imported data. As you can see, the data are dirty. Oh, the data is dirty with wrongly or unregistered values. So what are these wrongly and unregistered values? So there are some blank fields. The none, average polls of 9,000 is not possible. This one on the data 12, on the 11, 11. Okay. And one observation of max polls is denoted as EF. You can see here, AF, here, AF, which does not make sense. So that's one. The data is dirty. And when you say data is dirty, that means there are some errors in our data, in our data set, or in our data set. So we must clean the data in order to perform analysis. Okay, first of that is remove the blank rows. So we see that non-numeric values, 9,000 and AF, are in the same rows with missing values. We see that the non-numeric values, 9,000 and AF, are in the same rows with missing values. Let's try to see that. Rows, AF. Okay, this one, AF. Okay. And how is that? Solution, we can remove the rows with missing observations to fix this problem. When you load the data set using pandas, all blank cells are automatically converted into non-values. So removing the non-cells give us a clean data set that can be analyzed. Oh, so that's it. So we can use the drop NA function to remove the nonce. So access equals 0 means that we want to remove all rows that have a non value. So this one, if you put 0 here, you are going to remove all rows no with non values. So let's try it. The code is very short no. As you can see, these are the Python no. Yeah. As you can see here, with this code no, we have import pandas as PD. We already know that one. The health data, reading the CSV, data.csv. Let's try to click. These are the data no. As you can see, the data is dirty. The data is dirty, and we need to clean this data. So with that, with our program Python, this is the code in order to remove all the nonce, no, the none, and also the wrong values like the AF, and how many of this data actually are we have none. No? So this one, two, three. If I'm right, that's three. So there are how many data do we have there? As you can see here, it's already 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I guess we have 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's already now 10, and our data now is clean. As you can see here in the output, there's no longer none. There's no longer that 9,000. There's no longer that AF here, that AF. Okay, since they have the same, what if, what if we have AF here, guys? Let's try to change this value. Like, let's try to have AF here. It's not none, it's AF. Let's try to run. If we could still display the AF. I'm just curious now. I think it would just, yeah, it would still display the AF because drop NA is for the nonce only. Okay, that's the explanation for that. So you still have another way of eliminating that one. Okay, so this is the result. We've seen that. Okay, data categories. So we have some lecture here for analysis of data. We also need to know the types of data we are dealing with. So data can be split into three main categories. We have numerical, contains numerical values, can be divided into two groups. Discrete numbers are counted as a whole. Example, you cannot have a trained 2.5 sessions. It's either 2 or 3 sessions. And continuous numbers can be infinite precision. For example, you can sleep for 7 hours, 30 minutes, and 20 seconds, or 7.533 hours. That's continuous. And discrete, which is a whole number, no? A whole number. Then categorical contains values that cannot be measured up against each other. Example, a color or a type of training. Yeah, that's categorical. What else? You have the data that's good, very good. That's categorical. And ordinal contains categorical data that can be measured up against each other. Example, school grades or A is better than B, and so on. By knowing the types of data, you'll be able to know what technique to use when analyzing them. So let's start with info. So with this code, health data info. Okay, let's try to. Okay, with this code, using the data, you can now know what the data are here. So for duration, that's float. For average polls is object, and max polls object. Okay. Then we have float. So let's try to see for the float. Why it's float? Because it's floating. Float 64. Numbers are really average polls. That's the second one. Still a number. Why it's object? Maybe it's because of the number 9,000 here. That could be. And we have another object for max polls. How about what max polls? That's 3. For the 3, we have the AF. Yeah, AF. So that's why the data type is object. And let's try to look at the explanation. Okay, so float 64. We cannot use objects to calculate and perform analysis here. We must convert the type of object to float 64. So float 64 is a number with decimal in Python. Okay, a number with decimal. So we can use the as type function to convert data into float 64. So this is now how we do that. Let's click this one. So as you can see, those data are objects, so we convert that into float. So after converting that, it's already, let's try to click this one, try it yourself. It's quite long, guys, but you can learn this in sessions, in different sessions. And I hope you're doing great so far. How's our lecture, our tutorial? I hope you were able to grasp the ideas of this particular lecture on data science. Okay, so here we drop all the NA and we change the health data average polls to the health data average polls as type float. This is the command. Then after that, we print this one, and it's the answer there for the object is now changed to float 64. Okay, so if we're going to look at our data, it's still the same data now, our data.csv. Okay, so let's move. So as you can see here, there are already data is already float because we changed that. Okay, next analyze the data. So when we have cleaned the data set, we can start analyzing the data. So once it's already cleaned, so we can now use the describe function in Python to summarize the data. So this is the result. If you want, you just click this one, try it yourself, and you can now see the information. As you can see, there's already something number here because that's the float. Yeah, and you have the very information here, important information here for hours of sleep. No, we count. There is count is 10. The mean is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The mean is 7, no? 7.5. And the standard deviation is 0.526. You know how difficult to compute the standard deviation using calculations. And with this that described, you can already have the standard deviation of that particular data or data set. So this is the output, guys, of your information. Count, if you can see, count 10. These are the different numbers in our data. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. These are all our data, no? Our data. So this is a clean data. This is a clean data. And it will produce your mean. What is the average for the duration? Is 51, 02, 285, 6.6 for the hours of work and hours of sleep. The average is 7.5. Then we have the standard deviation, 10.4. There you go. The 25% or the first quartile, the second, the 75% quartile, and the max. So these are also the explanation. The count counts the number of observations, the mean, the average value, standard deviation, mean, the lowest value, 25, 50, 70 are percentiles, and the max, the highest value. So I guess that's all, guys, and we will continue our lecture on the different topics here in data science. I hope you already have the idea of what data science is, and I hope if you like, please do subscribe and let's learn data science more. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you for the likes. Always remember, learning is lifetime. I can stop sharing my screen. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. And yeah, I'm very excited to all my students in data science. And shout out also to all the students under with Ma'am Kulungon. And yeah, I hope we could do this also. No, we could do this. You could have a good grasp of knowledge and skills in this particular subject. Thank you. Always remember, learning is lifetime. Love you guys. Shout out also to our Bibitug family and all the faculty and staff of JR Amisio. All the chess players around the world, thank you very much. All the touch typists, shout out to uh, Mr. Ornejas, who is a touch typist in, what do you call this one? In the Vorak, no? In the Vorak touch typing. And thank you also to my students who are doing great, no, in their classes. So I hope you can make the research, no. You're tasked to make research review on the importance of data science, no, in our lives. So you are tasked to create um, a report for that research paper review, and I already told you to use to ask help using the Google Scholar and also the use of ChatGPT, no. And also, how if you want to understand, you use the Google Translate to convert that in our Filipino language. Thank you very much. Always remember, learning is lifetime. Bye everyone. See you when see you on uh, Thursday. And guys, thank you. Bye bye. Always remember, learning is lifetime. Thank you for watching. Bibitlog family, Coach Bibitlog, Ate Angel, Ate Helen, Maria G. Nero, SP Ibrahim, Ate Veta, Ate Josie, Vincent Paragas, and the rest of you guys, Teacher Des, Princess, Yuan, Yuvin, thank you very much. Part of sa family in Dawin, in Bantayan family in Zamboanga, part of sa family in Bacolod, in Dipolog City, the Inso family in Shocon. All of you guys, thank you very much. All 2K subscribers, thank you very much. And I hope I could help more, no, in SirParts Online. Thank you very much and goodbye. Always remember, earning is lifetime.